Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today with another NHL 19 ratings prediction video. Today we're doing our top 10 left wings. As always, just my predictions. Got to get that laundry list cleaned up real quick. Always just my predictions. Doesn't mean they're exactly right. Everybody's opinions can be different. I know that. Everybody can go ahead, as always, share your opinion down below who you think should be the top 10. We can discuss it. Secondly, thank you guys on Twitter for helping me out. As always, I appreciate your opinions. Anytime I have a little issue with maybe, 4 or 5 guys where I feel like they could bounce around in different places, it's always nice to be able to gather other people's opinions as well. So thank you guys on Twitter for giving me some feedback on a few players as well to help me out there. Kind of construct the list as well a little bit differently. Like I said, more opinions the better on stuff like this. Everybody thinks differently, right? Never hurts to have an extra opinion. And then third of all, no Artemi Panarin on this list. I know I'm going to hear comments about it if you don't watch this part of the video. No Artemi Panarin on the list. Why? Not because he doesn't deserve it, because I don't want the video. It takes time to make these videos, and I really don't want them to be centered around people being like, oh, he's just a biased Blue Jackets fan. Which is the perception we got out of putting Bobrovsky on a list. So we're just going to completely shed any Blue Jacket player from future lists just for the pure fact that I don't want the center of the video to be focused around, oh, he just biased player that wants to promote his own team's player. No, that's not the reason we do the list. Try to make them 100% accurate. So we're just no Panarin. Go ahead and tell me where you think you can be. I'll listen down below. No big deal there. But some honorable mentions. Oh, we got Matthew Tkachuk, Sebastian Aho, Landeskog, and then David Perron. David Perron might upset some Vegas fans. One good season, though, out of 10 years. I don't think that's going to flash EA and be like, oh, let's throw him on top of the list. So that is the reason he's going to miss it. If he can do it again next year, we have a little bit of a conversation to be had. But let's start out with number 10 on the list. Anders Lee. This one was tough. Very, very tough. Could easily go to Landy, maybe Aho. Any of the honorable mentions, really. I think anybody sees around that 85 overall range. All these guys, the honorable mentions. Anders Lee, like I said, you could pretty much flip-flop any of them around. But Anders Lee, man, 40 goals this season. How many people knew that? 40 goals. I mean, you can say 30, maybe it's a little fluky of a season, but 40 goals. That don't happen by accident, and I think you just have to find a way to wiggle Anders Lee onto this top 10. Coming in at number 9 is Max Pacioretty. Canadian fans or anyone hoping to win that potential Patches sweepstakes may not like seeing this overall downgrade from the season prior, but when you have lightly put an ungodly awful season like he did this season, you have to see a dip in that overall. Just a smidge, and that's what we're doing. Just a smidge, not a big one. I get all the factors, and I think EA will see them as well. Those factors being the Canadians as a whole having the whole fear of opposing teams back the net and everything. So I can understand, like, I don't think they're going to hammer his rating for how bad that team had offensively this season in general. But there's guys with more goals further down the list than Patches had points this season. Those 37 points to be exact. So sorry, Patches. 86 overall for you. You got to have a little bit of a downgrade, buddy. Number 8, Jonathan Huberdeau. Was an 86 overall last year. We're going to bring him in at an 87. I feel like we're just chomping at the bit waiting for this guy to have a monstrous breakout season. Not that 69 points is a bad season, or number for that matter, but I can't wait to see what this guy could bring to the table next season. Like I said, we're going to slap him off right there with that 87 overall. Number 7, Jaden Schwartz. Say right here is one of those tight areas. There's between Huberdeau, Jaden, but Schwartz likely produces a career year statistically speaking if he plays all season, but one of those many guys on the list who missed around 20 games this season. Nonetheless, 59 points, 24 goals, shades under a point per game this season after them 62 games played. And ultimately, I think what's going to give him the edge over Huberdeau on this one is the fact that he's already an 87 overall in NHL, or 18, get the games right here. Unlike Huberdeau's an 86, meaning he technically already has that quote-unquote respect or agreeance that he deserves that 87 overall. So he's going to get what he has, and I think he stays at that 87 again next season. Number 6 is Philly Forsberg. 64 points, 67 games this season. First time in 3 seasons he hadn't reached 30 goals, but would have hit that benchmark quite easily if he played all 82 this season. Forsberg had a great season, and maybe, just maybe, if he plays all 82 games, he keeps that point per game pace up, we see him hit that 88 overall. But for now, we're going to have to go out there, settle for an 87. But he's got all the potential in the world to up that come mid-season roster updates, maybe end-of-season roster updates, etc. 87 overall is nothing to be ashamed of, though. Taylor Hall was an 87 overall to start the NHL 18. Just means, 87 overall, you're going to go out there and you're going to win a Hart that season. Nothing to be too upset about right there, right, Philly? I better call him Philip. People are making fun of me and say I don't know his first name. It's Philip. I got you guys. I got you. I see you. Number 5, Johnny Gaudreau. Might be a little bit of a surprise seeing Johnny this low on the list for some people, and the argument for being higher is very understandable, but he had a great season this season, 24 goals, 60 assists, but for the second straight season, he has a very mediocre goal total, and I think that has to have an effect on his overall. Like I said, he's a great player, but when you think about him being a little guy and a guy not scoring a lot of goals as well, that's two big attribute boosting areas that Johnny's lacking in, and therefore I think it will reflect on his overall just a tad, nothing detrimental, but an 89 overall going into next season. Number 4, Jamie Benn. Benn has been a staple at the top of this left wing list for a few years now, and he's done absolutely nothing to make me believe EA is going to downgrade him. Another great 79 point, 36 goal season out of him, and I do like keeping him above Gaudreau for what may seem strange to guys, but for size reasons. Keeping in mind this is a video game, size matters. Benn is a power forward. Johnny isn't for obvious reasons. So you see Benn get, the stats in his strength, the defense, the checking. You see those types of categories give him the edge over other guys, and that's why you see him get this little bit of a bump higher than Johnny Gaudreau, I think. That bump being a 90 overall. Number 3, Brad Marcin, 88 overall right now. I was a little shocked to see that. 88 overall right now, EA. Maybe my roster ain't updated properly, but an 88, I don't know. Look at Marcin. May not be the most respected guy in the league, but ever since that 15-16 season where he dropped 37 goals, and I remember saying it then, like, boys, open your eyes. He's been on another level since back-to-back 85-point seasons. Now the kicker. He dropped 85 points and missed 14 games. Yeah, Marcin was on pace for a 102-point 40-goal season if he plays all season. He's very well deserved his spot up here. EA already looks at him as a two-way type player. So throw on the offensive filth, throw on that defensiveness, and you should easily see Brad Marcin crack the 90 overall tier this season in NHL 19. Coming in at number 2 is Taylor Hall. What a season. If you guys have been around long enough for recent years ratings predictions, you know very well I've always been a bit of a quote-unquote Hall hater because, frankly, for whatever reason, EA and the rest of the world looked at him as some God-sent-above goal scorer, but the guy never scored 30 goals in his entire career in one season. But boy, did he prove me wrong this season. 39 goals, 54 assists. If he stays healthy for an entire 82, he drops triple-digit points, and Hall was nothing short of spectacular this season. There ain't too many people out there who won't tell you Taylor Hall carried the Devils to the playoffs this season. I'm happy to see the NHL recognize that. We're giving Hall a 91 overall this season. And we bring up the size matter again. Because of the size, I could see, yeah, possibly not giving him a 91, maybe giving him a 90, but man, that season, they got to find a way to get him to a 91, am I right? I mean, the guy was just unbelievably great. Give him the 91, EA. Find a way, make it happen. He's an 87. He's going to need a +4 in that overall. Please and thanks, EA. Number 1, no surprises here, Alex Ovechkin. He's been regarded as one of the most prolific wingers of our generation, and not only did he have a textbook OV season, scoring 49 goals, but he also won himself one of the nice shiny trophies at the end of the season. Can't see anybody dethroning Alex Ovechkin this season. It's not going to happen. He's still a 92. Going to give him a 92 next season. That's my top 10, boys. Ovi cracking, number 1. Not really cracking. He's been there for years now. I'd like to hear the top 10 you guys got going. As always, though, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.